Has HR ever stepped up and actually helped you out? Yeah. I happened to bump into the head of HR as she was leaving. We work different shifts. And I mentioned I needed help with something insurance. I think. She turned around, went back into the building with me, and got me set up. Took us about half an hour. But I'll not forget that bit of decency. She could have told me to come back tomorrow. But she stayed late and helped me. Last company I worked at, New Crow saw how badly I was being treated after reporting an incident with a coworker. I was iced out by my own department. I had a great reputation because I assisted the VP of DE&I for about a year. Outside of my job description, current HR kept saying there was nothing else they could do for me. So I put in my notice and said I didn't want to pay back my education assistance. The Crow thanked me for my dedication and service and told me to consider the education assistance. For given it had never been done before, I am bound not to disclose this to any current employees at that company. She told me it was unfortunate what had happened and that she wished I wasn't leaving. They needed people like me to stay. I cried. One time my HR gave me a book on conflict management in which I learned and used skills against her in later arguments. No, but my union has. Yes, though I can admit my case was an exception. Sexual harassment against me that she plus 2 of my managers witnessed. Long story, but when it came to light, both of my managers claimed they saw nothing. And it was going to get thrown out. She had my back and saw it the whole way through. And the guy rightfully lost his job. I guess it's hard to say that she helped me out, because reporting sexual harassment is bare minimum human decency. But 2 other grown adults in powerful positions did nothing. And lied. She was the only one that did a goddamn thing. Yes. When I was applying for a mortgage, the bank needed to verify my employment and my income. They also have questions pertaining to my 401k and bonus structure. My HR was able to give them everything they needed in less than an hour after I asked them for the documents. Everything was organized and in ELI-5 format for the underwriter to quickly look at it. Their organization and prompt answer had me a confirmed loan in just 5 days total. Only once coincidentally. For a company I ended up storming out on anyway. I noticed that a raise I was promised was never actually applied to my payroll info. So I raised hell about it. The difference was from $11 per hour to 13.50 per hour. So yeah, I wanted my money. Within 2 days, the rate was not only corrected, but I received a check for back pay of roughly about 3.5 months at the heightened rate, as this was at a point where I was living paycheck to paycheck. This was huge. Despite the company overall being so incredibly toxic, I absolutely noped out. I'll always remember them doing right by me and thankful for it. Compare that to when I went to HR for a Fortune 50 company I worked for, stating that I felt like my superior was treating me unfairly and deliberately underpaying me. Can we interpret this as your resignation? Fucking assholes. Nope. I had FMLA pertaining to my medically complex daughter and HR said it wasn't good enough to cover my absences. That I need to write a letter explaining to HR her conditions and why I need to miss work for it. This is after they got the FMLA paperwork from her pediatrician outlining her conditions and why I missed work or could possibly need to miss work. I worked in HR for a time and I can tell you that those that want to help people and not just protect the company are driven out. Be it draconian rules, unwillingness to help people with the bare minimum of human decency, and leadership that views HR as an expense that could be done away with if the government rules could just be ignored. Human resources sounds good on paper. The real name of the department is crap. Corporate rules and protections definitely have helped me out of a job, but seriously, no, not ever. I do whatever possible to avoid HR at every company. HR protects the company, not you. After my union called them 180 deg change in position via nicely worded email from manager of person in hour I was previously dealing with. Turnaround from time I reached out to union was less than 12 hours. Was getting the runaround for a week and a half prior. Yes, I went on STD for a motor vehicle accident not related to work. HR extended it longer than the full time and let me keep my insurance as I fought the long-term disability insurance company. Once I decided to take the insurance company to court, and I was definitely not coming back due to the injury. They had to drop me off the rolls. But they were so nice and helpful during that time. Yes, I was facing a big medical bill from my company-sponsored insurance company. So I asked Nancy in HR for help. She called the insurer, spoke with their claims department, clarified that our policy covered the procedure, and got it reversed. But that was Nancy. She nice. The rest of those bitches in HR, not so much. Long time ago they did. I was sexually assaulted by a customer while trying to fix their cable. And they came in and handled all of it and even offered a report, so if I decide to press charges, they would give me the report and such on it. Yes, made accommodations so I can keep my job. Absolutely. HR has helped me greatly. My employer illegally transferred my duty station without proper notice. And HR ensured I got my union guaranteed 30 days per diem pay so I could move. HR has also helped me navigate an extremely difficult situation with one of my employees who had harassed a coworker. HR also helps me make sure I make legally defensible hiring decisions. Yes, my HR guy is independent and works for many companies, and as such he doesn't care if any of them turn around and sack him, so he is free to do and say as he pleases, meaning he actually has our best interests at heart, and this man is an absolute legend. He will give it to you straight but also give you tips and loopholes too. He is such a good man and I aspire to be like him. UK. Edit. I realize I gave a skewed answer, so I'll add anywhere else I have worked the answer is no, and the bigger the company the worse it is. I work in HR and it boils my blood the amount of contempt some of my coworkers have for our customers. Aside from insulting the intelligence of people who navigate our 8-step onboarding, there are the admins who brag about how we don't need to follow the handbook because the union is not recognized due to legislation. It's hard not to pipe up and say, tell that to the union and see if the change can be made while they all walk out. Needless to say, but I've been searching for work elsewhere. Yes, when I was coming out at work, transitioning a decade ago, the SVP HR was there with me through the whole process, making sure it went smoothly and that no one gave me any guff. Had the full support of the entire exec team. Now, this was so the company didn't get sued and suffer a black eye in the press. But it worked out to my advantage.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.